This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishikesh.
Streaming audio live online all across the nation on www.onecast.in, numeral 1cast.in, on 94.3 on the FM band on your radio sets, and only if you're not driving in the backseat of a chauffeur-driven car or backseat of a radio taxi, then we're streaming video live on facebook.com/radio1.mum, RADIOONE.mum. She's here, the most beautiful woman in the world, Manushi Chhillar. Hi, great to see you. How are you doing?
I am so good. I'm so happy to be back in the country, and I'm so good to be meeting you finally.
Yeah, and I'm so happy that you're spending a considerable amount of time in Mumbai, and you're actually thinking of putting down roots here. At least the fact that you have a home, which we're extremely proud of. I know that your Haryanvi roots are not going to go away, but it's great. You must love Mumbai.
Well, I have Haryanvi roots, but I have a home in Delhi. I've stayed in Bangalore, so I'm pretty much from all over the place. And right now, the only place where I live in is a suitcase. So I honestly am all over the place. But yeah, Mumbai has become kind of a home because in less than a year, it's given me my dreams. I came here to win Miss India. I won Miss India. I got to be Miss World. And it's just changed my life. So Mumbai has become like home to me now.
You're a world citizen, but you love... What are your favorite parts of Bombay?
Oh, whenever I go on the sea link, I think every time it's like the first experience for me. Because the first time when I landed in Mumbai, from the airport to where I was staying towards South Mumbai at that point of time. So we took the sea link, that was the first time. Now for me, a person like whose parents love to travel, or I had been to different countries, but I was still so awestruck by it. I have no idea why. And till date, whenever I cross the sea link, I mean, I make sure even if I'm going somewhere nearby, I do take that route because I simply love it. So that's something I love about Mumbai. But apart from that, I think Mumbai has this spirit of its own. It has a soul. And whenever I land in Mumbai, I don't feel like sitting back home and resting. I feel like, getting off the bed and like just doing something, and that's something I absolutely love about the city.
Well, I hope the driver brought you through the ceiling today.
Yes, I made sure he did.
I like that. There's this beautiful, wonderful, geeky video of you.
I think I know where you're going.
And I think it's beautiful. I mean, it's just completely, so. You without makeup, you talking about medical college in Sonipat, you talking about a physics teacher who's done wonders for you.
Absolutely. He made me love physics.
So do you go back to that videos now and then, just to remind you of your roots?
I mean, I think somewhere deep down inside, I am still that same girl, when I'm back in my room, when I'm not doing, Miss World stuff. I'm wearing my glasses, not braces anymore, thankfully, but I'm still that same old girl. And if someone if my brother, he's in school, whenever he comes with a science question, I get overexcited to solve it because that's how it was for me. I loved physics. And like I said in the video, the whole concepts, once you understand the whole meaning of it, then the subject's not difficult anymore. And for me, physics was like, it was that thing, that joy that you get once you solve a puzzle, say like you have a jigsaw puzzle, and the joy that you get once you solve it. So I think somewhere deep down inside, I'm still that same girl. And if someone asks me to go right now, I mean, I do have my medical books with me. I do travel with them all the time. So I do keep reading. But things haven't changed, Definitely priorities have changed. I've seen a lot more of the world. I've seen the other side as well, not just the study side. But I mean, had I not been Miss World, you could have expected another video like that.
I take those videos anytime. Give me cerebral, intelligent women, and I'm just going to heaven and back. That's all that really matters. So, and it's really true that they can teach you how to groom. They can teach you how to, improve your external appearance. But your intelligence is something that can't be grafted.
It's something that goes with you the whole life. Like since the time you're born, it's something, you invest into as a kid. So, that's not something I could have learned. And I'm really happy that, through life, I met people who really, inclined me towards say, not studies might not be the right word, but towards the more intellectual side of life. Like the first book that I ever picked up was an encyclopedia, my mom told me, because I found the pictures very interesting. I saw dinosaurs and I saw stars. So my mom would read it out to me because I didn't know how to read. So I used to hold a book upside down, but I used to stare at it for hours, and my parents used to laugh. So at that point of time, I was just curious because I used to paint. So I used to see these colorful pictures in the encyclopedia, very heavy. And then, of course, my sister was a reader. So I used to try to copy her because, how youngsters like to copy their elder siblings. So that's how I got into it. And then, so my mom would think that I'm interested. So she would read the encyclopedia to me. And that's when, slowly, I kind of got inclined towards it.
Dire Straits Sultans of Swing back with Miss World, Manushi Chhillar. You have any questions? Pop them. Radio1.mum on the timeline inbox. I'll bring it up on the show. Dire Straits Sultans of Swing at 9:06. Miss World, Manushi Chhillar is here in studio with me. We're still live online audio across the nation on www.onecast.in, numeral 1cast.in. Please tell your friends and family across the nation if you're listening to it on mainstream radio. You're right here in Mumbai City. It's still 94.3 on the FM band. And only if you're not driving, we're now streaming video live on facebook.com/HRISHIKAY. That's HRISHIKAY on Facebook. More conversation.
This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishikesh.
Radio 1.
Okay, here come the questions. Rakesh Mehra, which sport do you like, Manushi? What do you have to say about India at the Commonwealth Games, Manushi?
Though I've not been much of a sports person, but I've really enjoyed playing basketball because my family is into basketball. But I think India has been doing amazingly well. We've been winning so many gold medals, like our badminton teams out there. And also, I think this time in Australia, the performance has been amazing. So I really have my fingers crossed to see at the end how many medals are we able to get back home.
And you must be really happy with the fact that Hina Sidhu won gold as a shooter.
Yes, yes, absolutely proud. And the most amazing thing is that, the girls who are making us proud.
Yeah, I had a goosebump moment when I saw Saina and Sindhu and the badminton team on the podium and Jana Gana Mana playing. I mean, that has got to be the most amazing feeling ever. And you've been there, haven't you? With the national anthem playing.
Yeah, I've been through all of that. When you actually realize that you've not just done yourself or your family, you've done your whole nation proud, and that's something very different. And especially for young people like us, it's something that then drives us because we are young, we're energetic, we want to do something great, we want to do something worthwhile. And at that moment when your whole country tells you that we're proud of you and you've done us proud, so it's kind of addictive because you want to do more good things for your country then.
Lovely. Rakesh continues, and this is the question that you get in all interviews. But I'm proud to say that I didn't ask you this question. A listener has asked you this question.
I know this question.
Rakesh says, when is Bollywood going to happen and which is your favorite actor?
Oh my God. So I think, right now I absolutely adore Ranveer Singh because I also got to share the stage with him. And to me, the kind of energy that he brings into his character, it's unique. And it's very, for a viewer, it's amazing. He did get the best entertainer for the last year. So it has to be Ranveer Singh. And when will Bollywood happen is a very good question. But for 1 year, because I'm traveling with Miss World, I'm not looking into other things right now because I've worked really hard for this. And for this 1 year, I know that this experience is not going to come back to me again. I'm not going to be a Miss World again. I'm not going to be traveling to so many countries, doing the kind of work a Miss World gets to do. So in that, so I'm not really, committing myself to any other thing. I've even left my college for a year. I've taken a break. So at the same time, as of now, I'm not thinking about Bollywood as something that I'm going to do right now. Definitely, I'm a person who sets goals and then works hard to achieve them. So if I, once I'm done with my Miss World, maybe it might be my next goal. But like any other 20-year-old right now, I want to learn, I want to grow in life, and I want to realize I have, for me, at that point of time, only studies was an option. But since I've come to Mumbai, there have been so many options. I've had bizarre ideas, like even politics. So right now, it's all in front of me. But once I'm done with this 1 year, I think that's when I'm going to set what is my next goal. And I really don't want to focus on anything else except for Miss World.
Fair enough. There is a Chhillar family moment, a photograph, which is Manushi with Ranveer Singh on one side and Shah Rukh Khan on the other side. So what I mean by a Chhillar family memory is your mom's crazy about Shah Rukh and you like Ranveer. So I hope that Mrs. Chhillar, your lovely mom, gets that framed.
Oh, you have no idea. So I didn't know I was going to, like, there's going to be a scene, and I come up for rehearsals, and then I see Ranveer Singh on stage, and then there's Shah Rukh Khan dancing as well. And
You're having an out-of-body experience. Saying, what am I doing here?
And then the best part is because Shah Rukh Khan was my favorite growing up, maybe because of my mom's influence, but she made sure we always watched his movies. And which girl doesn't love Shah Rukh Khan? And the moment he even did the Shah Rukh Khan pose on stage, I was like, okay, just don't run and hug him. Just don't run and hug him. Because at that moment, I think it's every girl's dream to, to see him do that pose for you. But that was a very special moment for me because I got to share it with two of my most favorite actors.
So I told you that there's a picture in there to be framed.
My mom was so proud.
There's also a very beautiful, cute early video of you doing Dhoom Tana.
Yes.
And it has elements of filmy dancing as well as kuchipudi, or classical dancing. That form. Now, what I like, and I want your reaction on this, is the fact that your parents didn't only put you into studies. They knew you were an A student, which is why, the physics and, the medical school thing. But extracurricular activities were always encouraged. Especially dance. Yeah. Yeah,
like, I was a little shy as a kid. I was quite reserved, not shy, reserved. So I would not talk to everyone, and I'd be more into, say, in my room painting, or I'd be more into maybe, watching something. And I used to watch television, I used to dance, copying all the actresses. So my mom always knew that I was interested into co-curriculars. So she'd always encourage me. But once I was on stage, I was a totally different person. Once they'd put me on stage, like even when I performed Dhoom Tana, that was for my Miss India talent round. And at that point of time, the whole team, the judges were like, we get to see a different side of you on stage, because I usually come across as very reserved, very.
I can do sexy too. You were thinking in your head. Manushi is geeky and studious, but I can do sexy.
I've always loved being on stage. Be it school, and my parents, like my mom, was actually not so excited about medical college because she felt that maybe I might sacrifice on this part of life, but I think life had other plans. I came to Mumbai and I'm now getting to do all of it.
The world is our oyster. More questions for Manushi? Then all you have to do is pop it on the timeline inbox, radio1.mum on Facebook. There's also HRISHIKAY on Facebook. On Twitter and Instagram, it's HRISHIKAY. Havana, Camila Cabello. We're back 9:14 live with Miss World. I'm Hrishikesh. Camila Cabello, Havana. The most beautiful woman in the world is here. Manushi Chhillar, and we're streaming live audio online across the nation, www.onecast.in, numeral 1cast.in, now live on Twitter and Periscope at HRISHIKAY, in conversation with her about her life and journey in studio.
This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishikesh.
Okay, question from Madhura Nayak. Manushi, it's great to see you live. How are you so great at multitasking? What keeps you going? So lots of questions rolled into one. How are you so great at multitasking? What keeps you going? How do you separate work from your personal life? So it's a 3-part question.
Well, how am I so great at multitasking? I have no other option. But I was a medical student, so I had to multitask. And I think I'm one person who gets kind of bored doing one thing. I like to keep myself busy, and it's something I've been used to doing all my life, so maybe that's why I've been into multitasking. What keeps me going is just passion. I think I love what I'm doing, and when you love what you're doing, even multitasking doesn't sound that big a task. And your third question was about
separating work and
personal life. For this year, work and personal life kind of overlap because I'm traveling the whole while, and thank God I'm 20 because I don't have that big a personal life that I have to manage it a lot. But like I said, I'm still the same girl you saw in that geeky video of mine. So when I go back home after I work, when I go back home, I'm saying that I'm that old girl. I wear my specs. I'm with my books, and I am talking to my mom the same way. So it's just that I'm still so connected. I'm still connected the same way to my family like I was before. So it's not much of a big deal because it's like college, I do my work, I go to college, I come back home and I'm the same girl. So similarly, that's how I'm handling it right now. So I hope this formula works, as I'm going to use it as long as it works for me. Then I'm going to think of another plan.
Of course. Who's your best mate at Miss World? I mean, when you went to Sanya, China, just before that,
God.
after, who's your best buddy? Who's your 2 a.m. call even now amongst that pack?
I've had so many friends, at Miss World. But my roommate, Miss Indonesia, we have been together through what not.
Wow.
And I met her this time. I actually got to share her crowning, her successor's crowning moment. So we crowned Miss World Indonesia 2018 together, both of us.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I got to do that with her.
Was that in Bali? Did you go there? Did you go to Jakarta? Where did you go?
Not Bali. We were in Jakarta. So I was there in February. And it was so nice to be reunited with her. She keeps coming to India every year because she flies to Hrishikesh for, to an ashram. So she practices Hinduism. So she keeps coming to India every year. I couldn't meet her this year because I wasn't in the country at that point of time. But I know I'm going to be meeting her very often. And she was my first friend from Miss World. And we've been through everything together. And right from 5 a.m. waking up, doing each other's hair and makeup, trying to make it on time, fixing each other's dresses, coming back tired and just talking to each other when we're missing home. So, you find that kind of a personal connection with someone when you stay for 1 month, when you're away from family. She was away from family and we're all alone, but we're all together in it. But there were a lot of people for example, Miss South Africa, she became a really good friend of mine. She's an army. She serves in the army and she's a doctor.
Wow.
So for me, she was a senior for me in when it comes to my career, to my profession. So at that point of time, I used to look up to her. So we used to discuss a lot of study stuff. And then I had other girls as well. I had Miss Kenya, who was there in top 5 with me. And when I was announced, I was holding on to her. And she told me backstage that, when you win, you're going to hug me first. And I said, how do you know I'm winning? And she said, trust me, I have a feeling you're winning tonight. And it was not planned, but I jumped and I hugged her first the moment they announced my name, because I don't think at that point I was so excited. I didn't have the energy to go and get crowns. I was just hugging them. And then France was also a good friend of mine. So she just jumped on me and she hugged me from behind. So I have made a lot of friends, but the 2 a.m. call friend would be Miss Indonesia.
Lovely. Okay, I'm going to open up the SMS line. So if you have any questions, comments, you're not on social media, you can use SMS. 1 space your comment or 1 space your question and your name to 53650. 53650 is the in-studio SMS line. On Twitter and Facebook, you go to the search bar, you type HRISHIKAY, I'll pop up. You could tweet out your comment or question along with your name, post on the timeline inbox along with your name, and facebook.com/radio1.mum. We're going into some messages, and when we come back, there'll be some music and more Manushi Chhillar, Miss World. So you're not going to hear us for about 7 minutes roughly. Santana Michelle Branch, The Game of Love is the song after the messages. Also, Ayushmann Khurrana is coming in and sitting on the same chair as Manushi tomorrow, and some words from him.
94.3 Radio 1.
Santana Michelle Branch, The Game of Love, 9:31, the most beautiful woman in the world, Miss World. Manushi Chhillar is here. We're streaming audio live online across the nation, www.onecast.in, numeral 1cast.in. 94.3 on the FM band in your radio sets in Mumbai City. Only if you're not driving. Now streaming video live on Instagram at HRISHIKAY. Also a lovely video story of Manushi talking about her favorite song. You have to go check that out on HRISHIKAY. We've also tagged her official handle. One more question and a few more from me.
This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishikesh.
Radio 1.
One more listener question is what I mean. On the SMS line, it's your last 4 digits are 6315. But listen, you haven't given your name. Okay, 6315, your last 4 digits. Hi Manushi, I'm a final year medical student. How would you say MBBS has been for you? Which is your favorite subject? And I know it's geeky. She says so sweet. But geeky is beautiful. I love it. Hey, look at her. Look at this lady. Yeah. So let's start with it. How's the MBBS ride been?
Hi. So I've not completed MBBS, so that would be an incomplete answer for me. But MBBS has been amazing. I've done it for 1.5 years. and it's kind of changed my way to look at things, because I think I understand more, and that's something that helped me at Miss World as well. Because when I went there, as a Miss World, it's very important to understand people of, not just what they do, but like why they act in a certain way. And to have that kind of a compassion, you need to be dealing with people, and because at medical college you get to deal with people, you get to take a patient's history, and you get to speak to them, interact with them in their own way to make them feel more comfortable. That really helped me. MBBS has been an adventure ride for me. I've not just studied, but I think I've learned a lot through the whole thing. And like I said, it would be an incomplete answer because I haven't completed my MBBS yet. So, but that's what 1.5 years has done to me. And
favorite subject?
My favorite subject, biochemistry.
And your mom also studied biochemistry,
yes,
huh?
Yes.
Wow, see, I've done my research on you. So, is she like one of your early tutors at home? Or did she say, listen, I'm a mom and I'm not going to interfere in the teaching responsibilities. So, you go and learn. Some moms are like that, they keep it separate.
I never even had like tuitions till my 12th grade or something.
Wow.
And I was a kid. I used to go to school. One fine day I'd come back and I'd tell my parents, tomorrow is the parent teachers meeting. So can you like go collect my certificate, my report card? So they didn't even know when my exams were going on, because I was so independent when it came to studies. I did it on my own, and I was not this kind of a person who could like be sit down and told to study in a particular way. That's why I never went to tuitions. And that's how I studied, And then 12th, of course, I did a few classes, and I had to do, like, otherwise I would like stretch my syllabus for like more than a year. But apart from that, like, my mom never sat me down or made me study, but my dad did, because a lot of like science, and especially when it came to science, and a little bit of Hindi. So he's really good at both. So he'd like sit down with me, discuss with me. He never like sat me down and taught me from the textbook, but he discussed with me how to make it like easier, simple concepts like diffusion and osmosis. Like, I remember I was in 6th grade and we had a science experiment and I did diffusion and like no one in the class knew, so everyone was quite impressed. Oh my god, she's a geek. but so these small things I would learn because my dad would discuss with me, so that helped me in my studies. But like none of my parents have really like sat me down and made me study, or not did I ever have tuitions or something.
But were there any science questions in the pageant? Because you would have knocked that out of the park.
I kept telling the Miss India team, because I said, oh my god, like how can I be standing straight on stage with 6-inch heels the whole while? But I told them, I said that if they have a science quiz, I promise you I'm going to top it. But I won beauty with a purpose. So we have 5 fast track events at Miss World. And I was happy that I made it I made it quite ahead in a lot of them. But I won Beauty with a Purpose, which is the biggest award. And I'm the only Miss World till date who's won Miss World and Beauty with a Purpose both. So that's somewhere where MBBS helped me maybe. But at the same time, if there was a science quiz, I was praying there might be something related to that. I would have definitely like aced it.
You go, girl. Up ahead, that's what we're going to talk about. Beauty with a Purpose, Project Shakti, things that she's really, really passionate about. She wants to improve and leave a stamp on social life in India and around the world. Dusk to Dawn, Zayn and Sia. Why is it your favorite song, Manushi Chhillar? Because it's going to play now.
Okay. Yes, you're going to play it.
Yeah.
So my roommate, Miss Indonesia, introduced me to this song when I went to Miss World. And every morning we'd wake up, and that was the only time in life I had to do makeup every day. so as we'd wake up at like 5 a.m, so we'd have to play music. So I initially I was like, okay, I'll play like full Bollywood so that I don't fall asleep again. But she played Dusk Till Dawn, and for some reason it was quite soothing to me, and I just had that memory of doing makeup to it. And maybe that's how I learned makeup, probably, because even through the journey I was learning.
And you did say that you didn't even know what a concealer was, because you were so into your books. Yeah,
I mean, it took time for me to understand a lot of things. Like, of course, before Miss India, like when I knew I was going to this, I tried to understand it a bit. And you see these makeup bloggers and stuff, I tried to follow all of them. So because I never really like thought that I have to sit and I have to like do all of this. my mom is also like a no makeup person. So in my family, I was the first one to actually step into, a completely different zone. For me, it was all like learning on my own, except like, of course, my parents have been there through all of it. But for me, it was all like maybe internet or friends or like people outside. But from family and everything, I never grew up under that influence of, knowing what different products of makeup were.
So Miss Indonesia introduces you to the song, you do your makeup with it, and you were continuing that story. So it is a special song for you, yeah?
It's quite special. I think it has a lot of memories attached to it, maybe, because every morning I made sure I was obsessed with that song. And this time, even now, whenever the song comes up, say if I hear that song, I send her like a video, or she sends me like the songs playing in the back. So we have like a lot of memories attached to it.
Lovely. Here we go. Back in a couple of minutes with Manushi Chhillar. This is her favorite song, ladies and gentlemen. You have any questions? HRISHIKAY on Twitter and Facebook. Radio1.mum on Facebook. Again, one space, your query and name to 53650. She's live in studio 9:38. The incredible Dust to Dawn, Zayn, Sia, Manushi Chhillar's favorite song. It helped her through the pageant. The Miss World is in studio, absolutely live, and online audio across the nation, www.onecast.in, and the medical student is Tanmay. Tanmay, what's up, buddy? I'm not a lady, my name's Tanmay, he says. What are you supposed to say, brother? What can I do with digits? But thank you very much for your question. I really appreciate it. Okay, we're going to talk now about beauty with a purpose and Project Shakti, both of which are very close to her heart.
This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishikesh.
Radio 1.
So there's this wonderful press conference here in Mumbai City. You brought all the continent winners here and introduced them to the Indian media. So Beauty with a Purpose, the award, you're the first Indian to win that award.
No, not the first Indian, the first Miss World.
The first Miss World. Wow,
Yeah.
That's even bigger. Yeah. So talk me through that, and then let's get into Project Shakti and what really it is.
So Beauty with a Purpose is actually the whole core of Miss World. That's what Miss World does. And that's something the chairperson of Miss World, Mrs. Julia Morley, it was her idea. She conceptualized the whole thing, and she realized that, let's make this competition a little more worthwhile. Let's add a little more meaning to it. Let the girls not just come here with something external to share, but something that how they've been making a difference or what they are doing. And it's not just what you've done. It also, like, even if you have an idea and you don't have the means to execute it, you can always come to her, you can always speak to her, and she'd be there with you to guide you through it. So Project Shakti was something I was doing much before Miss India. Like, I think I was 18 when I started it, just gotten into college. And it was a very small idea because my parents used to do these things for people who couldn't afford medicines or specialized investigations. And I told them that why not educate them on menstrual hygiene. And there were instances where I came across people who really who really suffered because of a simple thing, that they didn't use a sanitary pad, which is a very simple practice. So I started with like awareness, but later on I joined hands with local manufacturers. We worked on different systems. In fact, after winning Miss India, I was able to increase my influence a little more. So we got these women from more than 20 village communities in 3 states across North India to become entrepreneurs, and they'd source the pad from Walmart India at a very low cost, and then they'd go and sell in their villages. So we did that at that point of time, and then I took this project to Miss World, and I won Beauty with a Purpose. For me, at that point of time, when even my project made to top 20 and we were all viewing it at dinner, all the semi-finalists of Beauty with a Purpose, it was an emotional moment. Because to be very honest, whenever I went to these places, I spoke to these women, I wasn't, because I was from the medical college background, I would empathize with them, but at the same time I wouldn't be like, I wouldn't get emotionally so affected at that moment, so I'd be able to maintain a control over myself. But then that moment when I saw my video being played, I cried, and I realized that there was a lot of girls from different countries, from Latin countries, who didn't realize that, is this a problem? And I said yes, and they saw my video and they were like, oh my god, like, well done, we never realized that this could be a problem somewhere. And it's not just India, there were 2 more countries, Nepal and Zimbabwe, who brought similar projects. So for me, I remember after the dinner, I went up to Mrs. Ju electing my project in top 20 because I was so happy that it made it that far. And she said, no, thank you for bringing it to us. And then I won Beauty with a Purpose. So for me, that moment, when you're doing something good, you feel nice yourself, and you feel that you're doing something more than just existing in this world. But when I won Beauty with a Purpose, at that moment, it gave me a sort of encouragement that, wow, like, when you get that pat on your back as a kid, that well done. So that was my well done for me. And ever since then, like, I won Miss World, and after that, Beauty with a Purpose has become my life, because now in the next 3 days I'm traveling to Brazil for leprosy, because it has the second highest rate of leprosy in the world. So that's what I've been doing the whole year. We travel to different places. We do fundraisers. There are a lot of times we have to get our hands dirty. We were in BVI, and we were trying to raise funds to build a school, the only school for special children in the whole country, which was knocked down by the sister hurricanes that came. And apart from, of course, doing a charity fashion show, we did a dinner, we raised funds, we went to meet politicians, leaders, we got different organizations involved. But apart from that, we did get our hands dirty. We did go into the site, clean all the mess, because you don't have labor over there. The population is so less. And, of course, we couldn't do construction work, but we were trying to, we actually got into it. So, being a Miss World it's all about that. And Beauty with a Purpose is something that excites us. And to be able, and it's not just one organization, it's a whole group of young people from more than 140 countries all across the globe who are getting together to do something good. And even if you're able to change one life, even if you're able to help an old woman cross the street every evening, I think that is more than enough. So, these kind of initiatives, that they make a difference. It's not just for the competition, but they actually change you as a person.
Beautiful. Your last opportunity to ask questions for Manushi Chhillar. We're at the 9:47 mark, so we're entering the home stretch. We're going into some messages, and immediately after those messages, you're going to be hearing REM's Losing My Religion, and then we're going to come back, and I will take those questions. So one space your comment, or one space your question, and your name to 53650. 53650 is the in-studio SMS line. Even if you don't have a question, you can just have a comment on her, and I'm happy to read it out on air. And on Twitter and Facebook, it's HRISHIKAY. You can pop it on the timeline inbox, and facebook.com/radio1.mum. See you in a bit. Home stretch of the interview with Miss World, Manushi Chhillar. I'm Hrishikesh. We're at 9:48 live.
94.3 Radio 1.
REM Losing My Religion. 9:57, last leg of conversation with the wonderful Miss World, Manushi Chhillar, who's really done us proud.
This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishikesh.
Radio 1.
There's a really interesting comment from Prithvijit Mukherjee. He says, I hope Manushi becomes a doctor before an actor, and when the credit rolls, it reads starring Dr. Manushi Chhillar. Don't recall any doctor leading star. Quite a mind she possesses. Very Sushmita Sen-esque. That's a huge compliment, man.
Thank you so much. I hope that happens too, because that would be so cool. I mean, I have gotten Miss World, but then in that case, I'll be getting my next movie when I'm like, 30 or something. But I think it'd be really, really cool to actually see, like, in the credits, like a doctor.
Yeah, I've never come to think of it. Prithvijit, what a wonderful point you've made. Never ever have we seen a doctor. So let's hope Dr. Manushi Chhillar happens. More than anything else, it's really going to make your parents so happy, isn't it? I mean, they would be on
it's going
top
to
of
make
the
me
earth.
happy. I mean, how cool is Dr. Manushi Chhillar? That's what I wanted.
Lovely. And there is a connection to radio that your dad shares. And this is some trivia, and you have to tell me about this.
So my dad in college had a friend who worked at a radio station. He wasn't a jockey though, but he told me my dad had a very good voice. And so they called him in, and he did he used to work as a radio jockey along with his college for fun. So he did that for while he was in college, at that point of time. So it was probably in the 80s.
Wow. Which is why I'm saying, he should listen to the the interview, and we'll give you a copy, and I'm sure he would really appreciate the nuances of it, because he's been a radio presenter. To hear his daughter on radio listening to all these wonderful things being said about him. Hello, Mr. Chhillar. Whenever you listen to this,
Dr. Chhillar.
Dr. Chhillar, yes. Mr. is wrong, Dr. Chhillar. So how has the brother and the sister reacted to all of this? Who bullies you, or is it the other way around? in the
Both
family?
of them team up against me. They're both big bullies, but they've both been like very, very, very good to me. I mean, though my brother is younger to me, but I think especially I've been away from home and I've been working hard, so somehow he's become very, very compassionate and very soft towards me. Though we used to have our sibling fights, and we used to throw me out of the bed, and we used to like have these boxing matches literally. But because maybe we don't get to meet that often, so he's become very, very somehow, and my sisters also become really protective. So they've the amount of bullying that they used to do to me, now it's completely reversed. They used to call me like, she's always on Mama Papa's team and we both are on one team. So it used to be like that. So yeah, I think now they both team up for me rather than teaming up against me.
The Miss World pageant is obviously a team effort. So people who helped, the team that helped groom you,
Yes.
prepare you. Let's talk about them before we sign off. Not just for Miss India, but also the Miss World pageant.
Absolutely. I think right from the time I've started, I think I really have to thank, I don't know what, destiny for this, because I met the right people at the right point of time. Be it at Miss India, I mean, of course, my family was always there with me. But even after Miss India, the kind of people that, they train you, the kind of people you meet, not only the panelists that they put on board for training you, but the whole team that you meet. There's an online team, you learn a lot from them, and everyone has something, what they understand about the pageant. So when you see different people's point of view, then you meet your previous winners. I had my predecessor who represented at Miss World. We had Mr. World. So when I used to talk to all of them, you do come to know a lot more about the competition. So they were like, I really can't name a lot of, because there's just so many. I can't name them, and I would feel really bad if I'd miss out a name. But those 3 months, the people that I met, maybe I don't know what it was. Maybe it was I was only listening, or I was attracting the people who'd help me win Miss World. But I was completely surrounded by these people who knew a lot about the competition, or who knew a lot about self-discovery, because Miss World is all about who you are as a person. And for me, that training was all about discovering who I am. And even at that point of time, when they ask you a question, if you are clear about what you want in life and what you truly believe in, then there's nothing really difficult to crack, when it comes to the question answers as well. So I was very fortunate, and I really want to give this big shout out to everyone who's consciously or subconsciously helped me win Miss World, because it's not just been the team that has been put up, like say on paper, the team that was put up for me, but others as well, all my friends, everyone who's interacted with me, who's been with me, even the pageant fans I've never met, I don't know them, but online, the kind of things that, the discussions that used to happen, it really helps you. And the kind of things, the research that they would do is amazing. So a big, big, big thank you to everyone who's helped me for this, because it wasn't possible for me alone to do it.
So are the boys intimidated to ask you out, or do you still get asked out on dates, whether it's in Delhi or when you go back to, your neck of the woods, which is Haryana, or here in Mumbai city? Oh, it's Miss World, how can I ask her out? Or is that still happening? I hope so. I hope it still is.
I think the only dates happening in my life are my management team trying to fit everything in my schedule. That's the only date that's happened.
Come on, some nice boy not asking you out for dinner. Come on.
I wouldn't embarrass him on radio.
Oh, so it's happening. As long as it's happening,
It always happens.
Lovely. So Indian men are not intimidated, which I'm very happy about. Great.
Many of them are, many of them are, because whenever I walk in, they have this, a lot of them then think that, oh, she's, probably she doesn't have time to go out, or, she's Miss World, maybe like we have to, do something. But then at the other side, there are very, very confident, rather overconfident men as well.
Yeah.
But
Who go too far sometimes, I'm sure.
but I think a lot of people tell me that we what if someone has a crush on you, isn't it a problem for you? I said, if it's a problem for them, because I don't have the time. So if they have a crush on me, it's a problem for them. But yeah, like the only dates that are happening are my schedules. That's it.
Listen, you're lovely, and this has been an engaging hour. Everybody who heard it, I'm sure, feels the same way. So on behalf of 94.3 Radio 1 and me, Hrishikesh, thank you for rolling by.
Thank you for
and you
having
make us
me.
proud. You make us proud, really.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's Manushi Chhillar, and we will across all social media. If you missed that interview and you just tuned in, we will put it up so that you can have a listen later on. Sean Paul, David Guerra, Becky G, Mad Love up ahead. A T20 Premier League cricket action. I'm Hrishikesh.